the confirmation is in, and the rumors of the new casting for the Justice League. Now, some of it, the obvious stuff, has been confirmed. More or less, this news comes from the rumors of who's going to play who of some of these side characters that haven't even been mentioned for the Dawn of Justice. That's the Batman vs. Superman movie. I'll start at the top of the list, move through what I'm going to do. I'll just jump through the casting, tell you all what I think, and then talk a little bit about this movie and who's going to be the villain, this and that, and we'll just see how it goes. So obviously the first and the most obvious one is Batman. Batman's going to be played by Ben Affleck, which has got a lot of people still, he's supposed to play an older Batman that's in his 40s, almost 50s, but they want to make this into a franchise. How long you'd be able to keep Batman around, unless you substitute him out for whether it's Damian Wayne, one of the Grayson, somebody take it over his mantle, because frankly, let's be honest, I don't think Ben Affleck's going to stick to this picture long. I'm even surprised he even took this, knowing that they want to make a franchise out of it. The next obvious one is who's going to play Superman. Henry Cavill from the Man of Steel movie, the new Batman vs. Superman movie. By far one of the best choices I think they could have done. Henry Cavill knocked it out of the park with Man of Steel. A lot of people still they didn't really like it. There was too much destruction. It wasn't really kid friendly. DC's not going that route. They're not going the whole, we're going to make this super kid friendly. They're going to go more of, I guess you can say, the realism, the darker side of what comics really is, because every hero has a dark past. And whether it's a tragedy or upbringing or whatever the case may be. Gal Gadot. Can't pronounce her name. You don't know who she is. She was in the Fast and Furious 6 movie, and she died. Spoiler alert. If you haven't watched it, your life would carry on, trust me. But she's been cast as Wonder Woman. A lot of things have been said about that she's not buff enough, that when she stands next to Batman and Superman, she's going to look really pathetic and weak and blah, blah, blah. And she's assured us that she's going to be able to pull the weight that Wonder Woman needs to pull. A lot of people also complain about her boob size being too small, but that's a whole nother thing. Me, I don't care. As long as she can act and pull off the character, that's really what matters to me, because I want a good movie. I want a good storyline. She's got a small role. I heard it's not even 15 minutes in the new Dawn of Justice movie. That's something I think we're going to have to wait and see. I've also heard about reshoots, about cutting some of that scenes out, whatnot. The next one is probably one of my favorites, Jason Momoa. You don't know who Jason Momoa is. He was in Stargate Atlantis, which was, I believe, his big break. Then it was, that's what put him on my radar, was Stargate Atlantis. Then Game of Thrones. He did a Conan spin-off movie. So yeah, he's had a bunch of roles, mainly small. Bullet to the Head with Sylvester Stallone. And this guy, he's a very big Samoan who's got a lot of skills, especially martial arts skills, and he shows them off quite a bit in almost everything he does. He's been cast as Aquaman. I think a lot of people know. They've had the picture pushed around the internet quite a bit. A lot of people making fun of it, this and that, saying his costume's too dark. It doesn't have the green and the gold like it should. But I think, from what I heard, that was just for dramatic purposes. The whole picture that did come out, that it is going to be more green and gold that we expect to see. Some people comment that his hair is not blonde. It's got blonde highlights. I mean, really, people are gonna sit there and they're gonna nick at every little thing. This is not how this person started. This is not how this person's story is. Blah blah. You got to take, when it comes to comic books, parallel universes, and there are hundreds of parallel universes, probably close to 1,000, that the comic book industry has put out there. So this person's storyline may not be the same as this other universe. And so that's how I take the Avengers. That's how I take, I'm going to take this Justice League movie. So for those that are nitpicking on every little detail, they're not going straight off the comic books. Most of these stories were written way before I was born, before my parents were born. And to base a movie strictly off the origin comic books of some of these, you got to think how bad the dialogue is. Some of those dialogue is really painful to get through. Um, Superman was a golden boy in some of those comic books and saving kittens out of trees, this or that. So it's you can't base a lot of these movies off the comic books because of not just that, but we got to update them to make them more relatable to today's society, I guess. The next one is Barry Allen, The Flash. The guy who's playing him is or Ezra Miller. I don't know who he is, so I had to look him up. He's got his own Flash movie coming out 2018. Rumored that he's going to be in the Dawn of Justice movie next year. I don't know if that's true. He was in the show Royal Pains. He was in the show Californication. Really, this guy hasn't done much in the last 10 years. I mean, he's only been acting since 2006. So I guess they must have saw something in him that really, I guess, said, yeah, he could definitely do it. My only thing about this is I really wanted to see the Barry Allen Flash from the Flash TV show. Because supposedly it's supposed to be in the same universe, kinda. So that kinda, they say it is, but they say it's not. So, but I would have loved to see that Barry Allen. We all grown to love him. We know his character, so that would have been a lot easier transition than just coming up with a whole new origins and whatnot. But if this movie comes out 2018 and he's in the 2016, he may not be the Flash at that point, but he may be Barry Allen. So it's kind of like, this is Barry Allen, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes about his way. He may not come in as a Flash. They may wait for that origins. I don't know. I'm tired of seeing origins. I think they can just start this thing off. And I've said before that we don't need an origin movie for every character. He's definitely one of them. The next is Cyborg. Victor Stone. I know very little about Cyborg besides what I've seen on Teen Titans. Not Teen Titans Go, that crappy cartoon, but the actual animated series that was decent. Is going to be played by Ray Fisher. He's another guy. I don't know who he is. He's only been acting since 2008. And he must have impressed somebody because he was in The Good, the Bad, and the Confused, which was a short. And now he's being cast as Cyborg in the Dawn of Justice movie, which I don't know how that's, I guess, supposed to go. He's in the Justice League Part 1, which comes out in 2017, and then he gets his own movie in 2020. For not having a strong acting background, it really makes you worry whether this guy's going to be able to pull off a character in such mainstream movies. Cyborg, from what I do know, is a very complex character. His dad built his armor. I don't know what all happened to him, but you got to understand the psychological aspect that he's half machine, he's half human. He's not going to be entirely human, so he can't, I guess, be that person he once was. That he's now this. I guess that all goes to the character, whether he goes back and says, no, I am human no matter what metal, blah blah blah. But I won't get into details about all that. Let's skip to the next one. Alfred Pennyworth is still going to be played by Jeremy Irons. He's obviously going to be the Alfred in Dawn of Justice, so at least they're keeping that character the same. Lois Lane is the same. Amy Adams is the same one from Superman of Steel, so that's good. They're keeping that. Dana Lane, who's playing Martha Kent, same one from Man of Steel. Glad they're keeping that. Jesse Eisenberg, and I don't know if I made a video about him being Lex Luthor yet. But Jesse Eisenberg is, I think he's almost in his 30s, but he still looks like he's a kid. And the height they said they said it's kind of they're gonna have to do something about it because Henry Cavill's up here and Jesse Eisenberg down here, so it's not really they're not the same height, and so stature wise, how are they gonna pull it off? I've never been 100% convinced of his acting abilities. I never did see that Facebook movie. I heard he was pretty good in that. I've seen obviously some other stuff that he's done, more comedic roles that he's done, and I'm still. That's what I'm gonna see, because that's what I know from him is his comedy roles. But on the other hand, the rumors have saying that he's really getting into it, really devoting himself to it. He is gonna be bald. Instead of the curly hair that he has naturally, they actually are going to shave him bald. Perry White is still going to be Lawrence Fishburne, who I would say he did a decent job in Man of Steel, but at the same time, I don't think it was the Perry White that we all wanted. We all know Perry White as being a white character in the Superman movies. So I think that was a little conflict, and a lot of people have issues. I had main issues with. I don't mind like if a different race plays a different character as long as they can pull it off. My biggest complaint with it, though, how do I put it? I don't like Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. I'm not sold on Samuel L. Jackson. I think he'll take money. You give him $5, he'll star in a movie that you direct. That's just how I feel about him. He's in everything. And to me, I think it's a tad bit ridiculous because he takes all these roles and he doesn't put an effort into them. And I don't know, I don't know. Anyway, rumored casting. And this is stuff that hasn't been confirmed, but stuff that they've been pushing towards. Jenna Malone, which I had to look her up to. I don't know who she was. But she's been in a couple things. It's rumored she's going to be in the Dawn of Justice. She's playing Robin. If you watched the read the the Dark Knight graphic novel, it's a girl, a female Robin, not a male. She was in the Hunger Games 1 and 2. She's been in a bunch of stuff. She's been acting. She got a lot under her belt. She was in The Messenger. I'm just looking. I mean, she's been acting since '96, so she's got the experience. Obviously, to play Robin isn't going to be difficult. Nobody has played a good Robin yet, so she could half-ass it and be great. I'm hoping she don't. I hope she puts all of her effort into it, and it's amazing. It's the best one yet. And I hope she rubs it in everybody's face who sucked at it. Oh, she was also in Sucker Punch. But that's just a rumor that hasn't been confirmed. Now, this one, it's under the rumored section, but it actually has been confirmed by Dwayne Johnson, a.k.a. The Rock. He is playing Black Adam. He looks like Black Adam. So and he's a huge guy. And so, but then you gotta ask, what about Captain Marvel? The whole Shazam thing. Are they gonna do that movie? And I don't think they've announced even that. But the fact that he's been rumored to play in the Justice League movie, really kind of, where are they gonna take it? Which, are they gonna make up their own story, or I don't see him being in a movie until Captain Marvel's movie's been made. Going down. Now, this is one I've kind of disagreed with, but at the same time, I like it on two parts. Now, this guy, he's been rumored to be cast as Martian Manhunter or Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart being the Black Green Lantern, ex-Marine, hardcore, not very creative, but very powerful. Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick, I've recognized him from quite a few things. He's been in a lot of movies. Everything. He's been on the show Fringe, The Wire. He was in John Wick, which if you haven't seen, you definitely need to. He was also in White House Down, which was the better of the two White House attack movies. and he's got so much stuff lined up on his plate as far as what's still coming out in the future. But Blacklist, he was in Blacklist, TV show Intelligence, American Horror Stories. He was in there for a little bit. List goes on and on and on. I mean, this guy's been in a lot. He even did the voice of Falcon for Marvel's Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Oh, okay. So I mean, just even that little bit says that he has experience for superheroes. But I like him better as Martian Manhunter. One, I think he's got the cheekbones and the jawbones. I just think he looks more Martian Manhunter. Just got to get the big, thick eyebrows on him. And I think he could really pull it off. I've seen him in quite a few things, so I would really say that he could pull that role. And it's not going to take a lot to play Martian Manhunter. He's a very emotionless type of character. I mean, emotion does come out, but I could really see this guy pulling it off. Now, as far as Jon Stewart, I don't want to see Jon Stewart in the movie. I mean, he could. If you looked at some of my previous videos, I said about my little alternate ending I would like to see for Dawn of Justice movie. But I'm a Hal Jordan fan. That's my favorite Green Lantern. I'm a big Green Lantern fan, as you can't tell because it's out of focus. But I'm a big Green Lantern fan, and Jon Stewart is the most powerful Green Lantern. Always one of my favorite characters to read. He's got the most going on in his past. The only lantern to hold two rings at once. Blah blah blah. I could go on and on. But if they wanted to go more towards Jon Stewart as a Green Lantern instead of Hal Jordan, I've said this before, and I think this individual would be perfect for his role. Is Michael Jai White, amazing actor who's very, very underrated. And I don't like the fact that he's underrated because, like I said, he's an amazing actor. He can pull it off when he needs to pull it off. And that and his mixed martial arts backgrounds. I can go on and on about this guy's skill set. I mean, he's built. He looks like he was a Marine, So I would safe to say that would have been a better choice, a lot smarter choice. I did see a rumor a while back that Tyrese Gibbs was going to play Jon Stewart. I hate that idea. Oh my God, I hate that more than Ben Affleck being Batman. Tyrese Gibbs plays the same person in every movie. He's a horrible actor. He has to be that comedic role, and frankly, I don't think he's funny. So, horrible casting idea. Go down the list. You got Toi Okamoto. I probably butchered the hell out of that name. I didn't recognize her at first, but she was in The Wolverine. She's supposedly rumored in the new Dawn of Justice movie. She was in Hannibal, the TV series. And that's all it's shown since 2013, but I swear she's been in more than that. But yeah, if you don't recognize her from the Wolverine, she plays the daughter, what was her father or uncle put on the giant samurai outfit? It was the Silver Samurai or something like that. That guy. No, that was his daughter, or I don't know. A horrible movie. Probably one of the best of all the X-Men, but it's still pretty bad. Anyways, that's her. But she's playing, since I forgot to tell you, Mercy Graves. That was the assistant and the driver to brain fart, Lex Luthor. You've seen her in the animated series, kind of this lethal woman. And of course, I mean, General Swanwick, Henry Lennox, he's coming back. That's the guy from the Man of Steel movie. He'll be back. And then the same girl that played the captain in there, she's coming back. I don't even think those characters really be mentioned. I don't see what big purpose they will, serve, I guess. So, but yeah, that was it. That was the casting rumors and casting confirmations that have been announced. This movie, on how they're going to do it is... I put a thing earlier about Doomsday being in the Dawn of Justice movie. and how I think it's way too soon for that. They're trying to overpack that movie. I think the obvious answer is Brainiac or Doomsday being in the Justice League movie, but I feel like that's too obvious. The first Justice League movie, I feel like, needs to be a stepping stone to the second Justice League movie, so it needs to be a smaller character, just kind of like Marvel's done. Marvel has set the path on how these movies need to go about. DC is not going to follow that path to the T, but they do need to take notes from Marvel with their success. And not doing so would be very ignorant and full-heartedly done on their part. I probably use that word wrong, but anyways, you get my point. It would be a bad mistake not to take notes and kind of mimic that. You don't want to mimic too much because you don't want to feel like you're copying them, but at the same time you put some originality that maybe the Avengers have missed. Like more movies in between, everything they got on. Really build up that cast for those Justice League movies that are these big nonchalant episodes. But that's just my opinion. You can leave comments below. Let me know what you think. I've had some good conversations, some good people. Just off my comments, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it if you'd like. I greatly appreciate that too. Thanks for watching. Twitter is above. You can follow us. We tweet out before we go live. We go live on Twitch, where we stream all these games live for you to watch. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on these channels. Thanks for watching.